All right, thank you again for tuning into the Boldly Becoming podcast. I've got an exciting and fun guest today, Emmaline Chappell. Oh, gosh, okay, so wonderful things I can say about you, but one of the things that I feel like is the most fun and the consistent kind of adjective or way that I explain you to clients when we have them getting ready to work with you is that you're just this light that it like exudes from your body when you're working with somebody and just in like everyday life. And sometimes I think you forget to like remember your own light for yourself, which I'm sure a lot of people would resonate with, but it's just infectious. But so everybody, this is Emmaline Chappell. She is our personal stylist that we utilize in the studio quite often with our clients. But I always love to kind of give everybody a chance to kind of introduce themselves. And it doesn't have to be work related. It can be whatever you want the audience to know. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
Well, thank you so much, Boo. That was so sweet. That literally just makes me feel like warm inside. I feel the same way about you, all the girls at KSP. I'm like, when I'm on set with y'all, like I feel like you guys just come alive, and it's just very like the word is infectious. It's just like you guys exude that. So I know I want to kind of give like a different intro because I'm so used to like what I say like in networking events. But yeah, I'm Emmaline Chappell, personal stylist, astrology lover, silly, outgoing. Yeah, that's me.
I was going to say, it's easy for you to kind of just sum things up quickly, but then it's like your personality does the rest for you, which is a lot of fun. Well, and I think that's what helps our clients get even more comfortable about stepping into style. And that was kind of the first thing I wanted you to talk about was I love that you're like original why as to what makes you love style, why you want to touch in on that with everyday women. And you always say busy business women. That's your kind of niche of the women that you're working with. And that can be any age group because I think, when you and I first started working together and you had me as a client even, I was in my late 20s, early 30s. I guess it was late 20s at that point, and it was very much, I love style. I have a specific style in my mind, but I feel like I can't recreate that. I also don't, like, it's that, I feel frumpy in this, or I feel, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't quite name it for myself or claim it for myself, I should say. I want you to share with the folks, like, what it is and why, like, I love that you always share about wanting to feel like a little girl in her closet. And so I was going to say that kind of tees you up for kind of what I was hoping you would share with them today.
Yes, love. Yeah, I feel like growing up, fashion was always that like outlet that just gave me confidence. And it was just always like this creative, expressive, just like almost magical thing. Like you said, like I feel like that's my happy place, like being in a closet or going down rabbit holes about like personal style, like obsessing about personal style, fashion. I specifically remember when I was really little, I would get so excited going into like Macy's or JCPenney's and like going to the special occasion area, like the prom dresses and just like looking at the mannequins, touching the dresses, like just that whole world of like clothing, what it feels like, how it makes you feel. And then I think really it kind of started with growing up feeling like I didn't really fit in. Being biracial, I never felt like with my friends in school, in daycare, like I was never white enough, I was never black enough. But fashion was always something I would go home and it would make me feel better. And I feel like probably by like early elementary school, I started like putting together outfits the night before and I was like, well, I'm just gonna wear something cute and let me just see if it makes me feel better. And it would. Like I would like stand taller, I would like let myself be seen in school because even being tall, I feel like I would scrunch. And so I think over the years, I just kept doing that and I started realizing like, whoa, there's something kind of like powerful about putting on an outfit that feels authentic to you, like you said, kind of claiming your personal style. And I think it made me feel like, okay, everyone's trying to make me fit into this box. Like, I don't want to fit in your box. I'm going to create my own box. I'm going to be my authentic self, be Emmaline, embrace my individuality. And so fashion really became that for me, like, it's all during like adolescent school years for sure.
And that is so, I mean, I'm sure a lot of women are going to 1000% resonate, whether that's because they're a mix of different cultures like you are. And sometimes you feel like you don't fit in either camp, right?
Totally.
You have that. And I've heard that in different, like from different friends and acquaintances and individuals I come in contact with, that they're like, you know, I had to kind of find the thing that made me feel the most authentic because maybe I wasn't accepted in one or the other category. I've not had that experience myself, but I've had that in other areas of my life.
Sure.
And so I think that's such a beautiful way to come in and honestly be vulnerable and share your honesty about what it is and it means for you, because I feel like you naturally just come into contact with women that need that too. You're honestly giving them that space. But it's exactly what you said. You're putting on an outfit that is kind of like your cape for the day. Because I know once we worked together, we went shopping together, and we got a wardrobe that matched my season. It matched my warm autumn, that I am. And it was funny because you said, you actually are generally drawn to the colors that are right for you. And I was like, well, that makes me happy because I love all of these colors. However, there is something to be said about when you feel confident in something, you show up differently in the world. And I think that that's such a powerful thing that you're doing for other women, that you're getting to show them how they can be their most authentic self. And it doesn't have to look like a runway model. It doesn't have to look like, and that's another thing I'm telling my folks. I'm like, she's just elevating your style just slightly. She's not changing who you are. She wants to hear the ins and outs of what it is that matters to you about style. And then you're tailoring it. Because I think that's a huge part of what you're doing. You're like reading their minds and based on what they tell you, because it's the things that they're not telling you, right?
Yes.
And I think that's what's so cool about some of the vision boarding that you do and some of the other areas like astrology that you bring into the mix with style for your clients. Because not only do you have, when you do like a full session with you, you have where you kind of give them their, because I'm a Virgo, so it was kind of like the Virgo's chart of, and I think it was like my top 3 too. And I said, how is this reading me so perfectly? I was like, yes, this is exactly how I feel about style. This is what I focus on. This is what I want to look like, sleek and clean, but also still comfortable and stylish, but like polished, I guess. But I'm getting off on a tangent. What I love is that you also created something for folks, which is your tarot cards. Your like style, astrology, tarot, zodiac tarot cards, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to make that shorter.
Well, I'm still trying to remember, but I'm like, I love the tarot cards. Can you tell everybody a little bit more about that?
Yes. So I remember my mom having like this old astrology book, like back when I was like in middle school, and it would like go over like I'm a Capricorn, so it would say the Capricorn woman, the Capricorn mom, the Capricorn girlfriend. And I was like, this is interesting. I feel like as people, we like to kind of be able to read things and kind of it connects like, oh, okay, this is why maybe I am the way I am. Or, ooh, like this resonates with me. And so I really, like as I started my personal styling business, I would always kind of look up on the side, like horoscopes, and just, I was always curious, like how the different astrological signs approached fashion or getting dressed. And I started doing more research into like how our zodiac sign, our big 3, which is our sun sign, moon, and rising, how that influences our style, our personal style, how we get dressed. And so I don't know, like on a whim one day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do all this research. And then I was like on Canva and I was like, I'm gonna just make like a deck of cards that are like style, astrology, like tarot cards, because I wanted to be able to include this in specifically one of my sessions that I do called my signature style development, which is what we did, where we are doing like kind of this fashion exploration process of discovering who is this woman that you are stepping into as we're working together? What is that next level style that you're stepping into? And what does that look like? What do the clothes look like? What does your closet look like? How do you want to feel? What is this new next level you portraying. And I thought, okay, I have all these other elements that I bring into that session. I was like, I need to bring in astrology. And so what I do is we have this fun reading where I pull these different cards of what your sun sign is, how that influences your style, what makes your style signature when it comes to the big three. Also going over like your power colors, and it's just fun. I just think it's a really fun element. And I think it was cool too. Some clients that I've done it for, we almost are kind of able to divide the big three. Like I think I did this for you, Kate, Megan, and Jess, and it was like a lot of us, we noticed where, okay, our sun sign is like maybe our work style, and then some of us, we discover like our rising is like what we want to our style to aspire to be, and then maybe our moon is like how we are at home and our comfy style. It totally is personal to everyone. I'm not saying our big three divides in that way, but it has been interesting to do readings, and some women are like, oh, yeah, like this is very work, this is very career, or it's interesting.
Well, and I think that's so cool because it's what we talk about here in the studio, that we're women of all different facets. And so we have a skin or a wardrobe, if you will, for every part of us. And we love to represent that. And I think that's so cool that you're also just reiterating that same thing with our clients, but also when you're working with people outside of us, because you have your own business and you're thriving. But I think it's just so cool that we're connecting with other women and we're getting to remind them that you can be exactly who you want to be. It gives them permission too. Yes. Don't you think? Like, how do you feel about that when you're working with a client day to day?
That's such a good word. And I find that that's coming to me more in this last year of working with clients so far, where it's like, I find myself saying this thing where it's like, I love witnessing when a woman, she's like in this fierce outfit and she looks in the mirror and she's either seeing this reflection of a part of her that she forgot was in there, or it's this part of her that she's been wanting to step into and she's finally giving herself permission.
And did you feel like that was once you, and that's why you created some of this for yourself, or do you feel like you've just fell into that category of women that you're working with?
That's such a good question.
Yeah. Because I feel like you used to do that so naturally with your clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. Maybe it's like I've gotten better at like honing in on, now this is like, that's what I live for. Like whenever like potential clients will ask me, why do you do what you do? I'm like, I live for those moments. Like just seeing themselves, like, because their aura changes and you feel like you're witnessing. I feel like I'm witnessing what I already saw. I feel like when I meet my clients, this sounds weird, but it doesn't. I feel like I have this thing where I see them in this different light, and as I'm working with them, that's my goal. I want to get them to where they're able to look in the mirror and be like, oh, hey, girl. Like, okay, so that's who she is. And then I'm behind them like, yes, I've been seeing her. That's who she's like, that's there. Yeah. I wanted to bring her out. So,
well, that's a very intuitive thing. And that's beautiful that you're leaning into that. Because I think we all, or I know that we all have those gifts in us, and that we're able, whatever it is that we do, we're able to see that, whether it's in other people, in the systems that we run, we can see them in these ways that other people just like, it's just another thing to them. And so then we can help bring that out in whatever is, whether it's creating a better system, whether it's lifting up another person and their spirit. And I think that's what you do. So
thank you, love.
I'm just so thrilled that you're a part of our team, that we get to cherish you while you're here, and that also that the clients get to see that they can fall in love with style without it having to be this big ordeal or this big to do or this very complex, complicated thing that I understand why they feel that way, because I was that person. But now I feel like I'm more equipped because you've showed me tools, and I have a little color card that helps me with my colors, but it's more than just the size or the color. It's just like how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
And that's how you show up in the world.
Yes.
So I just love that. I was going to say, is there anything else that you wanted to share with our audience that you feel like is something that you want them to know about your business? Or you actually had some branding photos done with us too. And I was going to say, what was it like to finally see kind of like what you were explaining about seeing that in other people for yourself? Because I know, and I'm not trying to like pull this out of you for me.
No, do it, boo. Do
I
it.
know that you shared something beautiful with me, which was that you're like, man, I had this vision in mind, and then it came out even better than I expected, which is the highest compliment I could hear. But it was, I think, because we were seeing what you really wanted, and we were really visualizing without a vision board.
Yes.
Because the exact way that you explained working with a client is how I feel like I'm working with clients, and it's hard to explain. So you did it beautifully. Thank you for giving an example that I can kind of use now. But I was like, share any thoughts that you might have had throughout that process.
No, that photo shoot, that branding shoot, Carter, was epic, because I feel like I was at a point in my business where I was like, okay, I'm envisioning the type of stylist I want to be, where I want to pivot, like how I want to elevate, but I didn't have the right visuals, kind of like with clothes. Like I do tell this with women all the time, like that's such a big part, is like the image, the visuals when you're wanting to get to that next level. And I loved where you were with KSP, because I feel like you were really starting to like hone in on branding and what, almost like your signature package that you're going to be giving to clients. No, Carter, that shoot was epic, because I've never ever seen photos, like branding photos of myself, like you said, where it was like my vision, but like times 10. And it almost felt like I was looking at images of, oh my gosh, like that's Emmaline, like that's where she's going, that's who she's becoming. Yeah. And I still use those photos, like I've been just trickling them down, because I'm trying to get every ounce of those visuals. They were just so good. Like, and then just the environment of KSP, like Jess, you, Megan, Kate, like all of you, you're just such goddesses, such creatives, such artists, and true like empaths and visionaries, because when you're in the shoot, it just all comes together. And and then when you see the photos, you're like, oh my gosh, like they did it. Like you feel heard, you feel understood, you feel elevated, and then it comes through in the pictures. It's how you show up. Like, and I look at those images all the time, and I'm like, that's where I'm going. Like, just keep pushing, keep working hard. Like when I'm having days where maybe it's like a low business season and I'm in my head, and I'll look at those pictures, especially the ones where I'm on the ground. Because remember, that was like the element of little Emmaline playing in the closet, like living her best life, and it's crazy, Carter. I see little Emmaline in my face in those pictures. It's just amazing what you guys do, and I'm so incredibly grateful, truly, to have met you guys, to be a part of this community, this business, I really feel like it's a sisterhood, and I love the fact that every client that gets to work with KSP just gets that taste of it, and it really is life-changing. It truly is.
Oh, thank you, babe. Well, and I love that that's what you felt, because that was, again, what we had planned for, was you, when you were laying on the ground, it was that was a new representation of that for you. You're like, I'm bringing that back into the visuals so other women can see how fun it is. And I always go back to the ones in the first outfit where you had the pink top on, and you're just like, you're just your vibrant self. And it makes me happy that you feel that way, because I'm like, this is how we see you. And that's the exciting part, is when the client goes, man, that's who I felt like I was, but I'm still her.
Yes.
So it just makes me happy that you're still feeling just as excited about it, even 3 years later.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think that was 3 years. Yeah, I'm in love with those photos. In love.
Well, thank you for being here today. What a beautiful interview, and thank you for sharing a little bit more about what it is that makes doing what you do so important, because I think that the heart behind it is always just the best thing to hear for you. Well, I always ask one last question for my guest, and it is, when they're sitting in the makeup chair, they're shedding a lot of wisdom on us, and it's cool because we feel like as the team, we get to learn a lot of things. You've seen it.
Yes.
So if you could leave our guests with one word, like a sentence or words of wisdom, what would that be?
You are that girl.
Ooh.
You are that girl. You are her.
Yeah.
Show up as her. Dress like her. Embrace your individuality. Stop being carbon copies. Like, you were born to stand out. I don't care how understated or bold of a standout it is. Stand out. You're that girl.
Period, point blank. Okay. Well, all right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time.